So would I buy this $2.65 million Hawaii architecture practice? This is a real architecture practice listed for sale on BizBuySell, asking of 2.65 million, 1.204 million in claimed cash flow, and just over 1.8 million in revenue. Now, on the surface, that's a 2.2 times SDE multiple, which is relatively cheap, especially for a firm that claims more than $2 million of backlog and nearly 50 years of reputation. But this is a professional service. The equipment is not the business. The building is not the business. The owner may actually be the business. So I want to know whether I'm buying an architecture firm or paying at 2.65 million for a retiring architect's phone book. So here's what the listing actually tells us. The listing gives us the asking price, the SDE or cash flow, and the revenue. And so the firm started in 1977, roughly 50 years ago. It says there are 3 employees, a licensed architect, a CAD technician, and a part-time administrator. The business is fully remote and also uses outside engineering. So they do some sort of outsourcing. Seller claims a $2 million backlog, and the seller also says he will stay for 1 to 2 years and carry 15% of the price as a seller note. And the listing tells us why. The owner is looking to retire. They're currently remaining involved in certain projects, management, client relationships. And the last sentence of that really matters more than anything else. The listing facts, these are all listing facts and seller claims, but they're enough to actually get some interest here and keep reading. But they're not enough to call this cash flow that can transfer post-acquisition. So the multiple is cheap because the owner may be the product. And here's why I would still take this call. The price is 2.2 times of the reported SDE. So an SDE margin of 66%, low multiple. The listing claims that there's $2 million in contracted work, roughly a full year worth of revenue. The licensed architect or a licensed architect is still on staff, and the firm's been around for 50 years. Relatively long transition, not crazy long, but relatively long. And so all of those are reasons stacked for it that make it interesting. But a 66% SDE margin in a design firm does make you ask, what does the owner actually do that's not being normalized here? The listing describes luxury homes with a construction value from $4 to $55 million. And so those clients typically don't hire just based on a logo or on reviews alone. They hire on judgment, taste, reputation, and trust. And all 4 of those likely live with the retiring owner. So the multiple, while it sounds cheap, may not really be cheap. It may actually be way more generous than it's worth. So if the owner owns the clients and the backlog is not yours, the listing openly says the owner manages projects and the client relationships. That's not speculation, that's listed out there. The employee list helps, but it doesn't really solve how you're going to transfer any of this. And a licensed architect can definitely stamp drawings, but it doesn't mean the architect can retain the clients, win the projects, manage a $30 million homeowner, or carry the reputation that the seller has. And then there's the backlog. So $2 million of backlog sounds like value. It's not really. What we actually want is signed contracts, the fees that are actually remaining out of that $2 million, the work that's already been completed, the costs left to incur on that, and the assignment language that would go along with an actual purchase. So can the client terminate when a change of hands occurs? A client that can walk away after the seller announces a change, it's not really a backlog that holds any value. It's not something we would pay for. The seller is offering 1 to 2 years of transition, which is definitely helpful in all of these, but it's also evidence that this is not going to be a simple handoff as they see it, and it's going to require a lot of hands-on work. So how much of the 1.2 million do I actually trust? The listing gives us the 1 SDE number, obviously no add back schedule, but no specific details on what's involved and what's in that SDE. And there's also not enough there in terms of employees or structure to really tell whether a lot of this is actually owner comp for the work that's being done or otherwise. So it produces a report 66% SDE margin while the owner manages most of the work. So I'm not going to invent expenses that are missing, but I am going to stress test the number on what I believe is reality. So 75% accepted SDE is somewhere in the middle ground. It's not super aggressive where I'm saying that there's no value, but it is aggressive enough where I'm saying that this is not all actual floated cash in your hands. A lot of it is going to have to go to replacing the overall day to day of that owner. And so we're taking a $301,000 haircut off the top to hand off to other people to manage the real responsibilities that the owner likely handles that they haven't yet handed off. And with that small of a team, that much revenue, there is probably a lot based on what we've seen in historical deals. So, roughly what that breaks down to is $180,000 for a licensed operating principal, and then that is admin work or otherwise. And so, if I wanted this firm to run without me fully, rather than just a licensed operating principal, but also someone to handle all of the end-to-end sales, business development, and so on, if we switch over to the manager run and we still accepted only 75% of the SDE, likely what we're looking at is a full operator replacement cost of roughly in the range of probably about 200,000, which leaves cash flow before debt service at 703,000 of what you can actually spend. And you can see there why that SDE multiple gets a little bit high. So let's go back here to the debt service. So if the buyer puts in $132,500, roughly 5%, you get your 5% seller note, 10-year standby, 0% interest. We do these all day long. It's definitely achievable. And then you SBA loan amount the rest of it. So 2.38 million. And we're just assuming this because reality is we're probably going to have to cut down this price. So that seller's not really going to hold 15% when we're basically going to discount this price in the long run. But let's run it just assuming they only give us the 5% full standby, 10-year term, all of that. You end up with cash after debt service of just over $500,000. Not as high by any means as what you saw before, right? 1.2, now we're down to $500,000, less than half. And that does make the DSCR pretty decent, but you're still paying relatively high for a business where it all surrounds one owner. Now, all of this also makes the assumption that the revenue, the backlog, the team, all of it survives past retirement. That's all just on paper. It works out. Now, the first broker call, to really get some information here, it has 6 jobs. So first, the call is not about negotiating the price. We're not there yet until you really understand everything. It's about figuring out whether the assets can actually transfer. So first, what does the seller do on every active project and how many hours a week does that actually consume? Second, show me every backlog contract, the fee remaining, cost left, and the assignment clause. You don't need to see the company names or any of that. You need to see the terms of the contracts. Third, break revenue and profit down by client, so that way you know concentrations by project, by referral source over the last 3 years. Fourth, show the complete SDE bridge. So how are they getting to that SDE? What do tax returns say? What do lender accepted add backs look like over the last 3 years to tell you whether this is actually bankable? Fifth, will the licensed attorney stay? And what does that person actually earn? And can that person actually carry everything needed to stamp the work done? Last, show receivables, work in progress, change orders, claims, and the professional liabilities that transfer at close so you really have a sense of the scope of what you're taking over. The big one after this is going to be meeting the key employees before the deal becomes a reality. There's only a handful, and they will really be carrying the business. It is pretty much mandatory to have those conversations at some point or another before you get serious into the deal. So the math that earns the call, the owner transfer decides whether there is a business here to buy or whether there is not. That is the crux of it all. Everything else looks good, but that is what decides it. So, would I actually buy this? From the listing alone, obviously there's nothing that's a slam dunk here, but there's enough there to have a conversation. So I would definitely take the call at 2.2 times reported SDE, even with the haircut. Debt service ratios are good. The multiple is high, but I would negotiate that down. And the backlog, as well as the time in business, it does add a significant value if it is leveraged correctly and if it transfers correctly. So really what it all comes down to is the transition. And then from the transition, what does the SDE bridge look like? What do the actual add backs look like? What's actually lender acceptable? What do those numbers actually pan out to when you try and go to bank it? So I would say proceed with caution. Definitely is worth a call, but it's not earned a slam dunk, let's sign a check today approach.